Alright, cool beans. Hope you guys did enjoy that small montage. I'm Hex. I'm gonna be going over my updated StamPlar build for the Scribes of Fate patch. I mean, just in general, what makes a Templar is the insane healing you have. You have so many hots, you have access to a purify, and probably the most cheesiest execute in the entire game, that is Radiant. But on this build we were able to change one set, and honestly the upfront damages straight off the rip was so insane with this new set we put on. Honestly, the damage was insane. Not only does it come with the Meta Tankiness, Meta Sustain, it comes with the most ridiculous damage you will ever see. Both upfront damage, and if they drop below 20% health, well, they ain't getting rid of that beam. Their instinct's gonna get Dawnbreakered, and they're gonna try to roll dodge the beam, and they're gonna get caught out. But before we get started, if you guys hit the subscribe and like button, really just go a long way, and I greatly do appreciate it. Also leave a comment what video I should do next. But without further ado, let's biting jabs our way into the build. Alright, so for the first skill we do run Extended Ritual. Heals us quite a bit. The main thing about this skill is that it purifies 5 things from us. Honestly, that's what I really like. Could obviously replace this for Living Dark. Honestly, it's personal preference. I personally prefer Extended Ritual way over. Just being able to remove negative effects is so much more powerful than just getting more healing done, in my opinion. But if you prefer Living Dark, go ahead. Next skill we do run is Chemo Hunters. This is obviously how we get our 12% crit and minor berserk on our front bar. And when you activate the skill, it can actually come very handy, expecting those pesky Nightblades out of stealth. Next we do run the cheese that is Radiant Glory. This is the cheese defining skill for Templar. This is a pug's worst nightmare and a 1v-extra's worst nightmare too. It's a double-edged sword. It hits people through roll dodge and it catches so many people off guard. But the thing is, when you're getting zerged over and you have like 4 of these on your death recap, Next we do run is Binding Javelin. This is our form of CC. Basically, you hurl a spear at an enemy, doing some pretty sizable damage and stunning them for 4 seconds. Honestly, that's a pretty long stun. If they didn't got the stand to break it, well, the next skill we do run is obviously Biting Jabs. This is our bread and butter spammable. It's targets in front of us, and this is also how we get our 20% weapon and spell damage. So honestly, if you're hearing this, please, can you make this 20 seconds or at least 15 seconds? 10 seconds is just not enough. Because I'm not going to swap. If I'm getting heavily pressured, I am not going to bar swap to cast the skill for only 10 seconds. It's not worth my time. Please make it 20 seconds, honestly. And next, obviously, we do run the big hitter, Dawnbreaker Smiting. Do a ridiculous amount of damage in the cone in front of us, and if they're able to tell the tail of the Dawnbreaker, well, that dot's for sure going to put them down. I mean, let's just see, just with 20% weapon and spell damage. Oh my goodness, almost 16k on the Dawnbreaker and over 20k dot. Yeah, that is some ridiculous damage. For the back bar, we do run Race Against Time. This is obviously our form of Snare Meaty that just happens to grab Major Expedition and Minor Force. Next we do run is Restoring Focus. This is our armor buff that gives us stamina back every second and heals as if we're within the rune. Just note, for those that don't know, you actually don't have to be within the rune to get the stam back. As long as you place this thing and it's up, you get 242 stamina every second, regardless of where you're at. You just need to stand in the ring to get the heal. Next skill we do run is Resolving Vigor. This is obviously our burst hot, heal out over 5 seconds and grants us minor resolve. Next skill we do run is Sus. This is how we get our form of Major Breach. Basically almost 6k penetration on the target and puts Burning, Chilled, and Concuss on the target. And we all know what happens when you put Chilled on a target with an Ice Staff, which we do have equipped. You put Minor Brittle on the target, increasing their damage taken from crits by 10%. Next skill we do run is Honor the Dead. This is obviously our burst heal. Please run Honor the Dead morph. Do not run Breath of Life. You will mag out, trust me. What this morph does, if we heal a target who is below 70% health, we get a portion of the cost back every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. And that, that refund is really good for our sustain. And for our back bar ultimate, we do run Temporal Guard, just for that simple passive of grants minor protection while slotted. Alright, but enough of that, let's go over the stat sheets. Alright, so let's check out our max stats. Max mag over 15.2k, max health over 32.3k. This actually can go up if you do run over Zofkas, and our max damage is over 22.4k. Now our recov is fully buffed. Look at that, mag recov over 1884, and our stam recov is over 2k. Wow. And let's check out our fully proc weapon and spell damage real quick. Look at that, spell damage over 6300. Our crit's almost at 41%, and our penetration's at 3277. Might look a little low, but you do have to realize we do have access to Major Breach, potential Minor Breach, and we obviously have the true power that is Balorgs. Let's just check our fully proc with Balorgs. Obviously everybody wants to see that. Look at that. Spell damage over 7k, and our penetration is over 14.7k. Wow, we are instantly deleting anyone we want from the game. Let's check out our resist on our back bar real quick. Both our physical and spell resist is over 30k, and our crit resist is at 2082. For the attributes, typical 24 points in health and 40 points in the stamp. Oh look, I still have some cake buff. Huh, weird. So for the food, we do run Jewels of Mistral, saying that purple food is perfectly fine, but obviously if you got a deep pocket or don't mind spending a little extra, or Zaku's Smoke Bear Haunch. For the Mundus, we do run the Thief. You know me, and you know that I love crit. Getting 6% chance to crit our heals or our damage on both bars, amazing, because on our back bar we really don't have a form of 12% crit, so it kind of leeways that. Obviously we are a stage 3 vampire. For one, simple passive, undeath. The lower health we are, the tankier we become. And for my race, I am an Imperial. Imperial, in my opinion, is hands down the best open world Stam race out there. We can get access to Tough, increases our max health by 2k, the most max health you can get from a ratio passive. Imperial Metal increases our max stam by 2k, and the best of them all, Red Diamond reduces the cost of all of our abilities by 6%. That includes mag, stam, health, ultimates, and our core combat skill. Block, CC break, and roll dodges cost 6% less. So this basically negates the vampire cost increase almost. Some great alternatives. Orc could be pretty good. Khajiit could be really good. We do have high crit on this build. Nord could be okay. Wood Elf, I wouldn't sleep on Wood Elf. Dark Elf, and anything else I'd probably stay away from, to be honest. Alright, but enough of that. Let's go over the sets now. Alright, so for the first set we do run good old Wretched Vitality. I mean, Wretched Vitality is almost a staple in all my Stam builds, honestly. I mean, look at that. The 5-piece. Being able to get to 390 base Magicka and Stamina recovery. That's base. You can add an extra 30% from our pots, an extra 15% from miners, 20% from continuous attack. You see, there's so many ways to like amplify this up. It's crazy. But the best thing is it's back barrable, and it lets us go full offensive on our jewelry. So for our monster, obviously we do run good old Battle Orcs. Gives us a lot of weapon and spell damage and penetration. And we all know what a 500 Battle Orcs does. Obviously we do run One Piece training because this is a meta front bar back bar setup with a mythic. Why One Piece training? Because we do have one slot available. So why not slot training? Gives us the most max health for a One Piece. And for our mythic, good old Markin Ring of Majesty. I mean, come on, just look at it. Put this build together and slap this ring on. You get 200 weapon and spell damage and over 2300 armor. Just here you go for free. Don't even have to think. And for the main set we do run is Deadly Strike, most commonly referred to as Deadly. Honestly, this is a pretty strong 5-piece. I mean, wow. It synergizes so well with Templar. I mean, let's see what it does. 2-piece weapon and spell damage, 3-piece crit, 4-piece more weapon and spell damage. The 5-piece increases the damage your damage over time and channel abilities do by 15%. So our channeled abilities, that includes our biting jabs and the cheese that is Radiant Glory. Yes, our Radiant Glory does 15% extra damage if that wasn't enough. And also increases the damage of our Dawnbreaker dot. It's just a crazy set, honestly. Thank you to Eric G for recommending this to me. Like, yeah, it makes this hit really hard. Like the amount of damage I was just doing straight up off the rip. All right, so the way we do run it, we do run double deadly daggers. You know me and you know that I love crit. So on the main hand we do run Nerdhone, and on the off hand we do run Sharpen. Please, on the main hand, make it Nerdhone. It makes a difference. On the main hand we do have an Azor Stam enchant with Nerdhone, and on the off hand we do have a shock damage enchant. So for the back bar we do run an Ice Staff of Wretched Vitality because we do run Elisus. So when we put Elisus on the target, it immediately puts Minor Brittle on them, making them take 10% more damage from crits. So for the enchant, we do have a Prismatic Onslaught enchant, and the trait obviously defending because tankiness is next to godliness. So for the body, we do run the typical 3-3-1, 3 heavy, 3 medium, 1 light. We do have a heavy head of Battle Orcs, heavy chest of Wretched Vitality, heavy shoulders of Battle Orcs, a light sash of Wretched Vitality, medium hands of Deadly, medium legs of Deadly, and medium feet of Wretched Vitality. For the enchants, if you can, tri-stat all the pieces. If you can't do that, tri-stat the big pieces. What I mean by that is head, chest, and legs. And if you can't do that, max damage perfectly fine. Just adjust your health attributes at the end. And for the traits, we do run 6 M-Pen, 1 reinforced. Yes, 6 M-Pen, 1 reinforced. The only reinforced I have is a heavy chest of Wretched Vitality reinforced, and the rest M-Pen. And for the jewelry, we do run a Deadly Necklace, Ring of the Training, and a Markin Ring of Majesty because it only comes in a ring, duh. All infused, all with weapon and spell damage enchants, preferably the ones that grant Stam Recup, but obviously if you have some or all with Mag Recup, it honestly wouldn't make or break the build. I'm just showing you right here that I was using one with Mag Recup, and honestly it was doing really well. So on this build I really don't want Bloodthirsty, since Templars have inherent more spell damage, 6% just for being a Templar, and access to minor sorcery, 10% more spell damage. Just being able to ramp that up, it's just crazy. Like, it honestly does so much damage, and it also increases our healing, which is really, really good. We do have a lot of healing on this build. And for the food we do run, good old Jewels of Mistral. Gives us a lot of max health and recup of everything. Obviously, if you got Deep Pocket or don't mind spending a little extra, or Zaka's Smoke Bear Haunch gives you about 400 more max health and 12 more recup. And for the pots, good old Tripods. Gives us a burst of everything and recup of everything. You can either craft them yourself, or you can just have the crown tripods. That's the one that I use, perfectly fine. Alright, but enough of that, let's go with the CP now. So for the blue CP we do run Fighting Finesse, increases our critical damage, critical healing. Focus Bend, increases our healing done when single target heals. Master and Arm, increasing your damage done when direct damage attacks. And Ironclad, reduces our damage taken by direct damage attacks. And for the red CP, typical Seal of Approval red Hex CP. Celerity, increases our movement speed by 10%, honestly in my opinion the best CP in the entire game. Survival Instincts, while affected with status effect, our core combat skills cost up to 25% less. Relentlessness, being stunned or fear causes us to gain major protection for 3 seconds. And Pain's Refuge, the more negative effects we have active on us, the tankier we become. And for the green CP, doesn't ever really matter. Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Gifted Rider, and Steve's Blessing. But alright, cool beans, that's the build. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Honestly, I'm just gonna say Deadly made us hit so unbelievably hard. Don't get me wrong, I love Titanborn. It's one of my babies, my pride and joy. But when you have a set like this that just fits perfectly for a class like Templar, you just have to run it. Like, it just made us do so much ridiculous damage, it was crazy. But as always, hope you guys did enjoy the build video. Like the video if you liked it, comment your thoughts or experience with the build. Also anything I might have missed out, videos I should do next. Subscribe for more, but most importantly, stay Zerging.